What's going on, guys? It's Pedro with Ford Addicts here. We're out here at my buddy Bobby's house. We're actually going to be putting the soft top, which is the truck top slant back from Bestop. We're going to be putting it on today. We're going to walk you through step by step. So if you or anybody that has either a TJ or an LJ, it should be pretty much the same process. We're going to start with an unboxing of it. We'll kind of show everything that's included in the box. We'll also show and talk about what tools are going to be needed. It should be a pretty easy walkthrough video. I think that it should be pretty straightforward, but I think we'll have some fun doing it. If you or anybody you know is interested or in the market to get one and is thinking about doing it, this should give you some insight as to what you can expect when you do the install. So, all right, so we're gonna get this box opened. My buddy Bobby here.
What's up, guys?
We'll get this opened up, get it going, get that out of the way. All right, so we got the actual cover itself here, and then all the vinyl pieces looks like they come bundled up together. So we're gonna go ahead and probably move this to the side.
Those are the door channels.
So these are gonna get for you to have a good seal when you're closing on your. You're gonna be able to run the full doors on this?
Factory hard doors, yes.
All right, so that's definitely gonna make it easier. Here's the other one. So this looks like it's going to be the drivers. This looks like it's going to be, this is probably the passengers going on that side. Which that'll be nice. He'll be able to run the factory doors with the soft top. So when he goes out snow wheeling, which is one of his favorite activities to do, he'll be able to run his full doors. And then the summer when he wants to switch back over to his tube doors, he just simply puts down the top, puts on the half doors, and on he goes.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest benefits, obviously I have a hard top for it as well, but with the kids growing up and moving on, it'll be easier for me to access tools, air compressors. I'll be able to come from the side windows and pop those open. I have side toolboxes and that, and so it'll be much easier to access. Just to go over the tools, it says Phillips screwdriver, power drill, silicone sealant, utility knife, and a T40 Torx driver, and some safety glasses.
And we have the windshield header, which is going to be right here. We got our windshield header. Yep, this is going to be the top arch. This is the top arch of the soft top. Then it's got the rear bow, which is this one right here. This is the rear bow.
On the windshield header here, guys, it's going to look like these are going to go on factory paddle latches, same way your original hardtop went on and off. So fairly straightforward install on the header, it looks like.
These two tubes here look like they're just going to be the passenger and the driver's side bows of the side of the soft top. So they're pretty much the same. Each one's going to go on one side, obviously, and the other one on the other. And it looks like this is the tailgate bar. So the tailgate's going to close up against this to keep that watertight. And I believe we have just the only other thing we have is the tailgate mounts, which I believe are these right here. We have these two parts here. If I can get those opened up. So there's the right and the left. They're marked. So as you put them on, it should be pretty straightforward which one goes on which side.
So I believe what these are for, guys, is if you can see on these Jeeps, there's a channel. Your soft top clips underneath this channel. At the rear of the Jeep, it does not have that. So I believe Yes, there's already 2 factory holes back there. You just need to maybe enlarge them a little bit. We haven't got that far, but you may need to enlarge them a little bit. Couple simple screws to mount these, and it just finishes the channel around the backside of the Jeep.
All right, so that kind of goes over the parts and the tools. So what's next on here now is let's get this thing installed.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, so as we got started, we kind of started looking at this. He's got these Carolina Metal Master grab handles, which we're gonna have to push forward a little bit. We've already kind of loosened both of them up, shifted them over, and now we're gonna go ahead and start installing the door frame here. So this is the one that goes on this side. And if you can see here, there's a guide here that goes to the existing body. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. Drop that in, and it's gonna go on the factory cage. And it just drops right in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put in the bolts that come in, and those actually go on the factory holes. So there's no drilling on the existing factory cage. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put these bolts in. Let me grab the, oh, Bobby wants to grab a tool, but yeah, so as you can see, these are gonna go in. The factory door is gonna get a nice tight seal on here, so he doesn't have to sit there and deal with the, you know, the wind and everything else. So we'll go ahead and get these installed. There we go. So that one's in. I'm just gonna hand tighten that one, start the other one before I torque anything down. Get that one grabbed now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that wrench. So as you're putting this in, it doesn't seem to have any play. It doesn't seem to like you really need to do any adjustment. So it should be pretty straightforward as you're putting this in, because sometimes when you're putting some stuff in, you feel a little bit of play. You feel like you might have to go back and readjust anything. The holes are pretty snug. I don't think you really need to play with it at all. So once you get that thread started, you hand tie both of them and then, you know, cinch them down. I think you'll be okay just putting them in. And I'm not going to go crazy on the tightening. I don't think that it needs to be. I don't think we need to do anything too tight. Give it one more tug.
I'm pretty impressed with how solid it is.
Yeah, they're pretty stout. Channel looks pretty good too. I think once you put the soft top on here, the way it's gonna flow down, it's gonna be nice. All right, guys, so we went ahead and we already did the passenger side. Bobby's tightening down that grab handle right now, but it was pretty much the same process, super easy. We just put the guide into the actual tub, and then it kind of just fell into place. We put in those 2 bolts. As I was putting this one off, there was actually a tag on the actual frame itself, and it said a warning not to over tighten the bolts, which is kind of what I've mentioned on the other side, is you don't really need to over tighten those. They are plastic, so don't go too crazy torquing that down. That'll get you just want to get that nice and snug, and they're actually pretty stout for, you know, being that they're going to be, it's just a soft top, but it's pretty nice. All right, guys, so we're to the next step, which is the tailgate. This is basically going to be right here where that soft top is going to marry onto the tub, and it's where it's going to create its back seal so that your rear windshield or your rear plastic windshield's not flapping around. So it's going to drop, and then it's going to latch onto here, keeping it tight in place in that channel right here. So I'll go ahead and put this one in. The instructions call to drill an 1/8 inch hole on here, so the holes are already drilled. So now all we have to do is install them. I'll be installing this side real quick, and then Bobby will be installing the other side. So I'll go ahead and hand start these, and then I'll finish them. It's a Phillips head. I wouldn't go too crazy on the tightening either here. You don't want to strip the tub, which is only about probably 1/8 inch thick. So just get it till they're nice and snug. And I'll go ahead and hand that over to Bobby.
Same thing on this side, guys. One thing we did, this Jeep must have had a soft top on it at one point. Maybe the previous owner, I am the second owner of it. There were the 2 holes already drilled. What I did is I just took a drift and I kind of reset them a little bit because they were popped up and pulled out. So I kind of just inset them a little bit, kind of give it a flatter surface when it mounts. So we'll go ahead and install these. Again, like Pedro said, you don't want to over torque these, over tighten them. Just snug them up a little bit. Each side. That should be good. Simple as that.
All right, guys, so we're on to the next step, which is basically putting the center channel here, which inserts onto the actual doors. As you can see, oh, Bobby just jumped on here too. And it looks like it's just gonna go basically from on the inside. If you want to put yours in.
It's in.
So
yeah, very simple. It's a little slot right here, slips in. Just kind of give it a little bow. Pedro's side should pop right in, and
it just,
there you have it.
that simple. All right, guys, so the next step is putting in the side bows to the header. I'll go ahead and put this side in. Bobby's gonna put that in. I do want to point something out that Bobby kind of mentioned on that side. I'll go ahead and let him start because there's a little extra material on here on the plastic.
Yeah. So basically what I did here is I just ran it down, and you could see as soon as we started putting it into place here, the material started kind of shaving off. So I just twisted it slowly and kept working it down until the screw holes lined up. And again, these on the bows itself, these need to be pointed inside with your header laying upside down. So again, relatively simple process. There was quite a bit of extra material on my side. Pedro's was a little easier when he worked it down the first time. Go ahead and install yours, Pedro.
Okay, and that's gonna go. So we're putting it in with the actual, this pointing inwards. And this is gonna be those 2 zinc plated screws over there, Bobby. So the zinc ones.
These ones?
Yeah, these are the 3/8 inch zinc.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and put,
again, the 3/8 inch zinc screws.
there should be one on each side.
Should be one on each side. Phillips.
I'll take one more. Again, I'm just hand starting these while Bobby gets his side wrapped up. And then I'll just finish torquing these down. So, I mean, this is a pretty easy install, but if this is something that you're on the fence about doing, these videos just make it easier to make a decision. Because sometimes when you're doing a project, you're not sure, you know, you think about, oh, how am I going to put it in, or who's going to help me put it in. But these videos kind of help make that decision to make it easier, whether you want to make that, you know, purchase or not. It's like this one's requiring a little bit more torque. You got that one in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, take your time with these guys. They were, like Pedro was saying, they're requiring a little more effort to get them to go through. They're a little bit bigger screws, but again, simple enough. And once Pedro gets done tightening his side down, we'll go ahead and move to mounting this up on the windshield of the Jeep.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so we're to the next step. We're going to be installing, we got the header set up. We're going to be installing that now. It has this plastic strip already. It does call to make some cuts. So it's got the plastic strip already sewed into the actual top, but the holes for the slits are not cut on the fabric itself. So you will need to make cuts along the existing holes here with a knife. So the instructions call to start from the center. So the 2 center points are going to be here. And then it only calls for 3 more after that, which would be here, here, and then the last one. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to go to the center. We're going to go this way, and work our way outward. We'll start. So looks like these are going to go here. And then these, they line up pretty good. So I don't think we're really going to fight it much. So we'll go ahead and get started with the cut.
There's kind of a little channel. You can see a pocket. So I think the idea is to slip the header up underneath the fabric like so. And then you'll kind of see it kind of drops and tucks into place. So with that, Pedro, let me check this side.
Yeah, and that seems to drop right in place, and it feels pretty good once you put it in. It's gonna probably be nice and snug. So there's 8 of these pan heads here. There's not a whole lot of hardware on this kit, so it's pretty easy to follow all the instructions. So we do need to make that cut. So
go ahead. I think once it's got a hole in it, you're fine. That's it.
Yeah, we're just gonna do just a little peekaboo on there.
Then again, instructions tell you which screws to use. We'll go ahead and see if we can get this one ran down through here just a little bit before we go to the plastic. Line it up. Should be as simple as that.
And again, you want to work your way outwards towards the outside of the frame. The instructions specifically call to start from the center out. That way, as you're tightening it down, it gets nice and smooth. You don't want to end up with any dimples or any, you know.
And you can kind of tell by the time we got to this one, the very end one, over here in the corner, we were at the very edge of the hole. So it does need to be kind of stretched out a little bit. Not much, just enough to keep it moving.
So this step calls for just this. We'll go ahead and get everything situated for the next step. I believe the next step is the back bow. We're going to get this set up so that we can work it through, and we'll jump back in it. All right, guys, so the next step is the back bow, which is going to basically slide into this pocket on the back, basically the last section of the top. And you can feel the pocket. It's got these clips already for it to go in, so we're gonna go ahead and get started inserting it in, and then we'll basically get it to, lock in place. Push it in a little bit more. A little more, right there. So this one's going to require a little bit more finagling. Here. There. All right, so that's locked in. You saw us struggle a little bit on that, but we were trying not to break anything. So as we're stretching it, these clips are made of plastic, so we wanted to make sure we weren't going to break nothing. But so that section of it is in. We're going to be moving to the next step. All right, guys, looks like we may have missed one step, which is these screws that go on the edge of the header next to those other ones where we were putting them in. So we were kind of going over the hardware and realized that those weren't in yet. So Bobby's putting in that side, and you need a hand?
No, it's good. Yeah, they just kind of tucked this last corner of the fabric down to keep it from obviously getting torn or caught into something. So one of those on each side, and that finishes all of the little screws that we've went through.
All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and drape the soft top over the Jeep to get it installed and in place. So that those side bows should slide right onto these tabs on the side here. So I'm gonna jump up here and catch it from Bobby. No, okay, carefully, 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 carefully. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and drape that gently over, protecting the soft top. Yeah, that looks real good. So these side bows, as Bobby was gonna say, these actually are spring loaded and they just kind of clip in, and they're gonna go onto this tab. So go ahead, Bobby, put yours in. I'll put mine in after. Tell me when you're dropped in.
Just like that. Clicked right into place.
Click right into place over here too. So then, go ahead and stretch this down a little bit. Okay, I see why we have to put that strap right in behind the sport, right in the corner of that sport cage. So we're gonna have to loosen up these speaker pods. All right. So the next step on here is getting the strap right on the sports cage here. As you can see, the speaker pod is right here. He does have a the alien shade right here, so that's kind of pressing it down. So I'm gonna loosen this up. I'm using a T30 T-handle here to remove it, and I'll get that all loosened up to get that strap in there, and then Bobby will get his side also.
My strap is through.
In between the speaker, is there a gap on your side?
Right through the front, right?
No, you want it. I thought it goes on the, it goes behind the crossbar. Cause that'll, it'll go right on the crossbar. So we're basically just pushing it back a little bit.
Go ahead.
Look. Just gotta go right here. So that's how we're just making a little gap.
Yeah, I just slid it through there.
So
Mine's already through right there.
Oh, so then maybe you'll get lucky like Bobby's side did, and you'll be able to just slide it in.
Yeah.
You want to leave it with
Yeah,
a gap?
leave it, yeah.
Are you gonna be removing it or putting it on?
No, leave it there.
You want it tight or snug?
You can get it out either way. It's good. There's plenty of room. You can actually just sneak it right through, guys. I kind of went ahead of Pedro there, but just slips right through between the roll cage and the speaker pod.
Get this snug back on. That's installed correctly. If we follow the instructions the way we're supposed to, we should be able to just flip this over right now.
Let me go tighten up the other side.
As soon as Bobby gets, I thought you had that done, Boss.
It was slipped through. I wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Wow. He's gonna see me nodding my head when the video comes out. I thought he was done. He came over here, made me feel like I wasn't doing it the right way, and he's not even done on his side.
That's what friends are for.
So now, let me rephrase that. When we're done with that side, we should be able to just slide this up. Oh, now it's not cooperating? Do you need the T-handle, sir?
No, it's through. I'm just tightening it. If I didn't have to come do your side, I wouldn't be over here slacking on my side.
It's all right.
That's about as tight as it's gonna get, I think.
All right. Shall we try it? We'll go up at the same time.
I'm going.
Ready?
Yeah.
Moment of truth. Oh, snap. Just like that. It was able to go up. So that should get us on to the next step. We'll move on to installing the, I believe it's the side windows over here, and the instructions call to get that over. All right, so the next step here, which kind of goes hand in hand if you look at the instructions, all these steps kind of go together. When you put the strap on the side of the roll cage, when you snap that top of the header in place, and then the J-hook that goes to this goes right here from the corner. Basically, you're gonna have this edge, this lip on the corner of the tub, and then it's gonna go into this. You put it in, and then it simply just goes back into itself, like that, like so. Simple. Easy peasy. And then to tighten it down, you just pull on it. Well, I'm not gonna put too much tension on it as of right now, just because I don't want it to come back. All right, so these two straps are on, and we'll go ahead and move on to the side windows. All right, so now we're gonna get started with the quarter window here, and we're gonna get the zipper started. Maybe it says instructions call to get started maybe 1 to 2 inches, and then move on to the next one. So there it goes. That's a 1 or 2 inches there. Okay, and then you got another zipper. Is that it? Mm-hmm. So then this plastic, it's got a plastic strap here. That's gonna just drop into this. And you'll feel it kind of dropping in, and then it bites onto the bottom. So that's Velcro goes on with the Velcro there. All right, and we're just repeating the process on this side for the hardtop or the soft top. All right, so after quite the struggle with this rear window, and I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get that thing set up correctly. It requires quite a bit of effort to stretch that out to get that last bit in, but this thing's actually a nice soft top. Everything kind of slips into the actual tub here. And now, honestly, we're down to the last bit of it. What I'm gonna do is I want Bobby to go ahead and we'll flip this thing over, and I'm gonna give Bobby the glory of snapping those brackets in the front to secure it completely down. But we'll go ahead and flip this up. All right, guys. So we're at the last step here. Bobby just secured that other side over there.
We're gonna latch it down.
That's locked
that
in.
side. Also, folks, bear in mind, we did this with a spider web shade still in place. And also, I do have a rear rock hard cage, and it's still in place. So it does work. It does take some extra effort, like Pedro was saying, for the fit and finish on it. I've watched a couple of videos myself on these installs, And the one thing I notice is most folks don't get the back window zipped up. Well, this one is completely zipped. All we have left to do right now is secure that last side where Pedro's out over there and pull the Velcro flaps down. And this top is completely on. It's sealed all the way around, tailgate bars in. Took a lot of effort to get that rear window bar into place. We fought it and fought it. In fact, that's why we didn't actually video it, because it became a hassle. But it's worth the effort. It's a great quality top. This is the diamond grade, so it's the higher grade top, the heavier twill. I did it for obvious reasons. I do a lot of snow wheeling. I'm trying to reduce weight, and the hard tops are very heavy. This top is extremely light compared to a hard top. So again, it's working out, and appreciate Pedro's help with this project, and you know, we're gonna button this up.
All right, let's get this other side latched in. All right, like the sound of that. All right, so.
Yeah, Pedro, give them a shot around the front as well. Like, it came out really nice around the windshield frame, and it really set itself in.
Yeah, look at that. It's real nice, and it's nice and straight there. That looks good. It's pretty sweet. Oh, we got to get this Velcro all buttoned up. I did that other side already, Bobby.
Huh?
That other side of Velcro's already in. Well, guys, thank you guys for joining us in today's episode. We were able to finally get this soft top on, which in all retrospect, it's not very difficult. I think the hardest part was stretching out that last bit in the rear window. That took some effort to get that stretch stop pulled on and being able to get everything to snap in, all the zippers to go in. I think that was probably the hardest part. Granted, the weather conditions aren't the greatest, and we're out here trying to stretch plastic. Me and Bobby were kind of just talking about that. All in all though, everything fit right in the way it should. It's really nicely stretched out. It looks really good. So if you're on the fence about doing a project like this, it's worth the effort. It looks really good. The doors, I was impressed how well they just kind of open and they kind of close up and seal on there. So if you noticed, throughout the whole project, this thing had no doors. We just put the full doors on here, so it looks really good. But we look forward to seeing you in more videos. We're going to be getting more projects on, but we really want to thank you for joining us today. And remember, your support is greatly appreciated. So if you like the video, this is 4 Low Addicts. Build, wheel, break, and repeat. It's what we do. Bobby was with me today. We're actually at his place working on his Jeep. I'd like to do a full walkthrough on his Jeep down the line when we have a little more lighting and we can actually kind of discuss everything he's done, all his mods, and why he did them. Would be a good, good thing to talk about. But subscribe to the channel, like the video. Again, your support is greatly appreciated on this. So until next time, this is 4 Low Addicts. Stay tuned for the next show.
Thanks, guys.